Welcome into I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai, not with Tyson Gentry. He is still sick, folks. You're just tuning into this one. Tyson's been battling through it, for lack of a better term here. So I'm in the saddle going solo here. I'll have his picks at the end of the show. We're going to keep the train rolling. I mean, it's been a good week for us, or a good season for us, I should say, on the NFL side of things. Tyson, let's get into the recap screen because he just keeps things rocking and rolling here, man. I thought I had a good week. He edged me out. So if he was here, he would have stayed on the tee box. He goes 3-1 plus 2.49 plus 2.49 units. Although we get in this play of the week home. Ravens team total over 27.5. Patriots money line for plus money. Falcons plus 3.5. Only thing he missed was Broncos Colts under 42.5 and a barn burner. I don't think anybody saw coming. That was ridiculous. That was a fun game. Meanwhile, I had a 2-unit play on Ravens first half minus 6.5. They got home, which was a big help. Also went full game Ravens minus 11.5. Also was on Falcons plus 3.5. Jaguars Bengals over 48.5. Got home even with the Joe Burrow injury. One thing I missed, Texans minus 2.5 for the play of the week. That was a frustrating loss, especially right at the end there. It looked like they were in complete control. Baker drives down the field, 4th and 10. I mean, come on, Texas. This would have been a monster week, but still, I was up 2.34 units in week 2 for the season now. I'm up 3.16 units. Tyson up 7.09 units. As a show, we are now up 10.25 units through the first 2 weeks of the season, which is great for us. And love to see it, love to feel it as we kind of keep things rocking and rolling here. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, guys. The juju's a little off now that Tyson's not here. So I'm hoping that, it's not a bad omen that he's sick and right as we're rolling. So let's jump into things without further ado. You guys know what time it is.
It's money making time.
So my first play, I'm going to do a money line parlay, and it's going to be super square. It's Chiefs and Seahawks minus 139 on FanDuel. Those are the best odds that I found. Shop around. I mean, when you're listening to this, we're trying to get this out as soon as we can, but when you're listening to this, shop around on that. But I just don't see the Chiefs starting 0-3, especially against a New York Giants team. I know that offense went up and down on the Dallas Cowboys, but the Chiefs defense is just a different animal, especially on Sunday Night Football, especially in prime time. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to bounce back in this one. Even if Xavier Worthy's not back, the Chiefs are going to be able to do enough, I think, to win this football game. They are not going to start 0-3. I don't see it. And on the flip side, the Seahawks coming back home after a big win on the road against Pittsburgh Steelers facing the Saints, man. And the Saints have been a little bit feistier, I think, than people thought coming into this, but I don't think they're going to go on the road with Spencer Rattler with that roster and beat the Seahawks. So especially with a defense led by Mike McDonald, I think he's going to do enough to throw off Spencer Rattler. So yes, this is square, but I think there's a reason why, sometimes the squares win. And I'm riding this one. Chiefs, Seahawks, moneyline parlay for my play of the week, minus 139. On the flip side here, on the next play, Texans, moneyline plus 110 on FanDuel. Power ratings wise, this is a coin flip. I know the Texans have struggled when they go on the road compared to going home, compared to when playing at home. I'm just still not a believer in this Jaguars team. They should have won that game against the Bengals. They completely gave it away, and that's just a sign to me that this is still the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is still question marks surrounding Trevor Lawrence. It's still Liam Cohen, first-year head coach, new staff, all those things. So I think, yes, they have looked better than we have thought the Jacksonville Jaguars might, even though a lot of people had them as winners of this division. But this Texans team has a better roster. This Texans team, I think, is better coached, and they have a better quarterback. Now, C.J. Stroud hasn't played like it, so he's going to have to perform here. I think where the Texans have an edge is running the football. I'm not sold that this Jaguars secondary and this Jaguars passing defense is actually as good as it looks on paper. So in a coin flip game, I'm going to go with the better coach. I'm going to go with the better quarterback. Give me the Texans money line plus 110. Secondarily, another gross one. Vikings minus 3 plus 100 on MGM. That's the best number I found. I mean, I'd play it down to minus 110. I like the Vikings here. Kevin O'Connell has been raving about Carson Wentz. Oh, when J.J. McCarthy, was gone from practice because he had the birth of his child. The ball didn't hit the floor. The ball didn't hit the ground with Carson Wentz. And, he's a veteran guy. I know people love to take shots at him. Oh, he sucks, this and that. But if he can operate this offense from Kevin O'Connell, I think that he's going to be able to take advantage of this Bengals defense. I mean, there are still question marks. I think Al Golden's a really good defensive coordinator, but it's going to take time for that thing to start looking right. And the Jaguars are able to pick them apart. The Vikings should be able to do that if Carson Wentz can play up to his capability, if he can play up to his previous form. Now, that hasn't been the case. This is a sixth team in 6 years, or sixth team he's starting for in 6 years, which is an NFL record. But I love Kevin O'Connell as a head coach. I love him as a play designer, a play creator, and a quarterback maker. So I think for one or two games, especially in this one, Carson Wentz is going to be able to come in and fill in admirably. So plus 100 for -3 on the Vikings. I think they win this game for sure. And they are going to be able to cover this number, especially with Brian Flores' defense going to be able to confuse Jake Browning. So give me the Vikings -3. Next one, I'm going against the Eagles. I'm taking the Rams plus 3.5, -115 on DraftKings on the road here. Sure, the Eagles offense could be playing possum, and all of a sudden, boom, they just explode, and they remind everybody, oh, yeah, that's right, this offense was ridiculous in the playoffs. But the Rams are playing really good football right now, and they played the Eagles really, really well last year in the playoffs. I think Sean McVay is going to have an answer. I think Sean McVay is going to have something up the sleeve for Vic Fangio's defense. And I need to see something with this Eagles offense, especially against a Rams defense that I think is much better than they had last year. Saquon Barkley could run crazy again, but I'm going to go with Matt Stafford healthy early in the season. I'm going to go with Sean McVay and a Rams team wanting revenge for last year to stay within the number. Eagles going by 3, but I like the hook here. Give me Rams plus 3.5. And then last one. Falcons, Panthers over 43.5 -110 on MGM. Yes, this is gross. Yes, we have no clue what we're getting from the Carolina Panthers on offense. But I think this is more of a play on the Falcons. I mean, how many field goals do they settle for in the red zone against the Vikings? I mean, my God, if they even get half of that, we're looking at a bloodbath. So if they're going to be able to convert those, which maybe they're not, maybe there's not a good red zone offense, I'm going to bank to water finding its level in this situation, in this game, that we're going to see some points from the Falcons. On the flip side, I know people don't like Bryce Young. I know not a lot of people watch the Panthers because they are a hard watch. But what Bryce Young did in the closing moments or the latter part of the game against the Arizona Cardinals was like pretty special. Making insane throws. The offensive line's collapsing around him. He's moving on the run, and he's putting pinpoint throws on his receivers. So if we can get a little bit better offense from the Carolina Panthers, I know everybody's talking about the Falcons and their new pass rush, and yeah, Raheem Morris is awesome, and this Panthers offensive line still leaves a lot to be desired. If Dave Canales can figure something out, and he has something for this Falcons defense, I think we could see some points in this one in the divisional matchup. So I'm going to go over 43.5. Those are my 5 plays. Let's get to what Tyson's given out here in his week 3 plays. We can hit the right button here, folks. There we go. Some interesting ones. Steelers, Patriots, under 44.5 -108 on DraftKings. I like that a lot. I mean, I know the Steelers defense has not been good, but they've got to come back to form at some point. They got to have some pride there. Mike Tomlin's got to get these boys rolling. So under 44.5 Steelers, Patriots for Tyson. Vikings team total over 22.5 -110 on MGM. Another similar play. I think similar thought process to me. We think Carson Wentz is going to be able to move the rock and actually operate this offense well. Broncos Chargers under 46 -110 on MGM. Very sharp, I think, on that one. This Broncos defense has not looked the same as it has last year, but perhaps that could come into fruition against the Chargers offense that looks awesome, but maybe they're due for a little regression. The Cardinals +3 -120 on DraftKings against the 49ers. Is it Brock Purdy? Is it Mac Jones? If it's Mac Jones, maybe he turns back into a pumpkin. Cardinals, they're normally very good to start the season. So that's something there, especially on the road. So those are his 4 plays. He's going to try to keep it rolling there. I mean, he's been crushing the NFL. I'm hoping I can catch up to him. I'm hoping I can take the T-box back from him. So when he returns, I can at least say, yeah, no, I'm in the T-box now. I'm leading this off. But I didn't give out a parlay for college football without Tyson. But I'm loving props. I love touchdown parlays as much as the rest of you guys. So I'm going to be giving things out in this one. First, let's look at what happened last week with our player prop parlay. Trey McBride over 62.5 got home. Devontae Adams over 59.5 got home. A.J. Brown plus 70 plus receiving yards did not get home. Ja'Marr Chase over 86.5 receiving yards easily got home. And then Nico Collins, 6 plus receptions, did not get home. Man, this one felt good for a long time. I am shocked that A.J. Brown once again was not involved. I am shocked that Nico Collins was not able to catch 6 balls. He was targeted 9 times. I mean, God, the target share was there, but it just did not happen for him. So we miss out on that one. But let's go into week 3. I like Garrett Wilson with Tyrod Taylor leading the charge instead of Justin Fields to catch 6 balls. I like A.J. Brown going back to the well, 70-plus receiving yards. He's got to get involved at some point. And if this game script actually requires the Eagles to move the ball and throw the ball and take shots here, I think A.J. Brown is going to be the recipient of it. And we know if he catches a slant route, he's good to break one off. Is the hamstring healthy? We'll see. But I'd like 70-plus receiving yards for A.J. Brown. And then Justin Jefferson. I don't know what's been going on with the game plans, if it's just J.J. McCarthy not throwing him the rock. But I think with Carson Wentz here, we're going to see Justin Jefferson get hyper-targeted. So I like 6-plus receptions for J.J. And again, back to the well. Maybe I'm being too stubborn. Tyson's not here to talk me off the ledge or pick something else. I'm going back to Nico Collins. 70-plus receiving yards. If he's not going to catch the targets, maybe he can catch a bomb over the top of busted coverage from the Jags. I mean, that happened on a touchdown play. They just couldn't get him the ball after that. So I think Nico Collins, there is going to be a point of emphasis to get this guy the football. And those are the 4 plays in the player prop parlay, plus 12.99 on DraftKings. But let's keep it going. That's not the only thing we're rocking with here, folks. NFL parlay in week 2, the TD parlay. Rhamondre Stevenson didn't get in. It looked like he had a breakaway opportunity. Oh, that one was tough. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ja'Marr Chase do get in. I mean, Amon-Ra got in 3 times. Breece Hall, he's going to have to show something here. This is 2 weeks in a row that I put him on the TD prop parlay, and he didn't get in. I just don't know if the Jets view him as a red zone guy. In the start, it was Braylon Allen, and he got into the end zone in short yardage situations. Now, this one, the Jets offense is atrocious, and there's really little chance that they're going to get in, but I don't know. I need Breece Hall to get into the end zone before I start trusting him again. And so that drives me into the week 3 TD player prop parlay, or the TD parlay. I'm going to go with Kyren Williams, Ashton Genty, Bucky Irving, Kenneth Walker. That's plus 1250 with the 10% boost on DraftKings. Yeah, here's the reason why. Kyren Williams didn't get into the end zone last week. It was weird. I mean, they got Blake Corum, but the red zone offense for the Rams was not good, and there's a reason for it. Kyren Williams didn't get touches. It wasn't on the field in the red zone. I think probably McVay's we need our touchdown scorer in. So if they do get into the red zone, I think Kyren Williams is going to be able to get into the end zone against the Eagles. Ashton Genty, everybody's a little concerned about what's going on, and I'm not there yet, but the Raiders got to figure out how to get this guy going. Now, I know there was some conversation about, are they waiting a little bit to, it's a long season. Are they trying to not put a ton of workload on him so he wears out at the end of the season? You got to get this guy going downhill, and there's no better place to do that than in the red zone. I think Geno Smith's going to bounce back. I think they're going to be able to move the ball much more effectively, and then they're going to force feed Ashton Genty to get him into the end zone and get this thing rocking. In addition, Bucky Irving. No touchdown for him last week, despite the high-scoring affair. I think he gets into the end zone this week for the Bucs. And then Kenneth Walker, after the weekend he had against the Steelers, I think he's back firmly at RB1 for the Seahawks. This is a fluid situation, so I think it's a risk going with Kenneth Walker in back-to-back weeks, but I think he's shown that, hey, I'm the guy you should be giving the rock to, even with Charbonnet, more of that, we're going to give him to the ball into the red zone. Kenneth Walker also has the home run hitting potential. So I think Kenneth Walker is a safe bet here against the Saints team that I think is going to give up a ton of points. So that's, again, plus 1250 on DraftKings with the boost. So that's going to do it here for us, guys. Again, Tyson's sick. We hope he comes back healthy so we can get these things back to normal. Like, subscribe, and share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button. Subscribe so don't miss a single thing we do. We'll be reacting next week to what just happened on the gridiron, college and NFL, so you don't want to miss a single thing. Share it with a friend, share it with an enemy, brother, sister, all that good stuff. Enjoy the game of football. Enjoy the weekend of football. We'll talk to you guys when we talk to you. Till then, peace.